Hey folks, Ted Boss here with Shoulder Season Counseling and Coaching. This is just going to be a quick video for parents about a strategy called the 30-second reprimand. This is probably a strategy you're doing unconsciously or doing it already on your own somewhat, but in my opinion, it's helpful to kind of break these things down so that you understand why what you're doing intuitively is helpful. Okay, it's called the 30-second reprimand because this intervention is literally 30 seconds or less. Typically, this is used with boys, although it can be, used with girls too, obviously. Stop what's happening, and you're going to, pull this kid aside, and privately, you're going to address whatever's going on that you want to intervene with. You'll always get a better result if you address something privately than if you're going, into the group melee and trying to stop something. So you're going to be clear and direct, but not emotionally charged about whatever it is you're intervening with. And you're just going to say, hey, that thing you were doing, I want you to stop doing that. I'd like you to try this instead. And you're going to be really clear about what's happening and what you want to see instead. That clarity about the situation, about their behaviors, and what you want them to do differently, that creates trust with kids. So that's very, very important to be explicit about what's happening. Keep in mind that your words are going to land harder than you anticipate. So you don't need to come down super, super hard initially. The whole point of this is to intervene and have it be neutral and not emotionally charged. The kid, gets defensive or says, ask questions or says, well, this or that or whatever, just repeat what you said, just do the old broken record, nice and neutral, and then you're going to cut it off and say, okay, go ahead and head back over there. And sometimes I'll say, all right, get out of here, and I'll kind of make a clear ending to that intervention. So that clear ending is very important because kids will hang on to the intervention and they'll think that they're still in trouble, and that'll cause anxiety, and then they'll end up acting out even more, right? And so having that clear end to the intervention is super, super important. Letting that intervention be strictly about their behavior and not who they are as a person is really, really effective for kids. If the kid thinks that you think they're a bad kid, they're just going to be sneaky and try to avoid you and not take you seriously. But if they know they're going to get a direct intervention about something that they're doing that they probably know they shouldn't be doing, right? Then they're going to say, oh, well, the adult's holding the boundary. That's fair. And then, they'll go about their ways. And it's also not embarrassing them in front of their friends or calling them out. Recently, I watched a friend of mine who's got a couple of rowdy young boys intervene. They were kind of going back and forth with each other, doing what, little boys do sometimes. And he just said, hey, knock it off, you two. And they both kind of stopped. And then he said, now go do this. And he gave him some job that was pertinent to what we were all doing together. And they both kind of just went and did the thing that he asked them to do. So if you've got a kid who's not really listening to boundaries, try the 30-second reprimand. It's brief, it's impersonal. There's not a lot of explaining. And then make sure that as the parent, you detach from the situation and make that clear ending so that the kid isn't anxious and worried about what's going to happen next. If you have any questions, folks, you can reach out. You can go to my website, shoulderseasoncounseling.com. Like and subscribe. Take care, everybody.